What's up, guys? So if you've been following along with the VMAX videos, you know that there was a couple of issues when we got it. So I'm not sure if the previous owner backed into something or got rear-ended. Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell that there's even anything wrong because there's no big dents or anything in the bumper itself. But when I was checking the truck out, I did notice that this plastic piece was popped up and broken. And so I got to looking a little bit more in depth and noticed that the bumper itself is actually pushed up to the bed of the truck. Now, it doesn't look like it's dented, but over the past however many years it's been touching, it has rubbed through the paint. So we want to replace that bumper, touch up those paint imperfections, and why not go ahead and upgrade while we're at it. So I hopped on Marketplace and I found this 2014 Silverado bumper. It has the reverse sensors, it's got brackets, it's got the trailer cap thing, tag lights, the hitch. It literally has everything, and I got this thing for $230. Now, it's not perfect, but that's a pretty freaking good deal for an OE bumper, not some cheapo Amazon step bumper that you can't even put your foot on because it's going to break. The only thing that it's missing, which I thought it had this, but then once I got home, it wasn't there. Maybe it fell off while we were driving. We did go 2 hours to get it, so don't know, but I did get a new one of those in, so we'll install that as well. Hoping that everything is still the same, the brackets and the plugs, because if that's the case, this is just going to be as simple as unplugging, unbolting, replugging, and rebolting, which would be absolutely amazing. So we'll find out here in this video. So let's go ahead and get this thing up to the house, get that stock one off. Not sure what they had this backup camera hooked up to because we don't have a display on our radio. Maybe they had like an external monitor in there. We'll try to salvage it because we might end up using that. So we'll see how the wires go. I think it's just tucked in behind this plastic right here. It is. What are these other wires running to? I have no freaking clue, but we'll just leave this dangling for now. Let's go ahead and unplug all of our wires, starting with our trailer connector and then our backup sensors right here. We got one here and one here, which I think the new bumper only has one connector, so we'll have to see what's up with that. But got some wiring, professional wiring done right here to the backup camera. That is our two connectors here. So now we need to go ahead and drop the hitch. Now we got 3 13-seconds bolted onto the frame, and then we've got 2 down here that's bolted onto the bumper. You better have your daggum squinters on because you're gonna need them. For leaving this center one loose so we can drop it down and then get in position and take it all the way out. Get the weight of the back part on my belly and we'll just drop her and scooch on out. And make sure you get your bolts out as well. So as far as getting the bumper off of the frame, you got 2 18 mils right there and 1 15 mil up top, 3 on each side. Take those out, bumper should slide straight off. Let's just try to bring her straight back without pinching our hands. We're just dropping it directly on the ground. It helps if you pull the other freaking bracket out all the way, don't it? Boom. Let's see how our damage is looking. So, as you see, scuffed here, not bad. Tiny bit where it was touching here. Honestly, that is a lot better than I was expecting. It's not all jammed in. See this side. Little dent here, a little bit deeper scratch there. Tiny bit of rub, little outline. Not bad. We need to get a new tailgate or bend this. Obviously, it bent a little bit because now when the tailgate opens, it rubs. But yeah, that's not freaking bad. All right. Now, there's your little side-by-side comparison between the old and the new. Sensors are definitely different sizes, and these are in the plastic part, so I don't think they can just swap over. So yeah, I need to flip this guy over because we only got this one connection. The other one had two. Let me figure that out, and then we need to clean this up, do a little touch up, and we'll tackle this. Well, even though I don't see any touch-up paint on the truck anywhere, it actually came with this, which is what I was going to use, but I just cracked her open and she smoked. So, for the time being, we're just gonna clean it up. Well, we already did clean it up. We're gonna leave it as is for now, and then once we can get some more touch-up paint, we'll come back and address that. So. Picked up a bumper step on Amazon. Hopefully it fits good. Should be as simple as just sliding in there, just like that. Wow, that looks like it actually fits pretty good. Got a couple updates for y'all. So for starters, I got the bumper step cap locked into place, and it actually fits really good. So I'll have a link to that in the description. It was like 20 bucks on Amazon. Next up, I started to tackle our harness issue because here on our old bumper, it is a dual connector harness, whereas the new bumper has a single connector harness, which is obviously different. So we can't just plug this into the truck and it works. So of course we want to put the old harness onto the new bumper. The problem with that is the sensors are different, and the old sensors actually plug into plastic. So the head of them are black, and that would look weird on a chrome bumper. So of course you would want to swap your new sensors onto the old harness. The problem lies with that is, if you can see, there was fins, these fins right here, they're different. See how much lower it is on the new one, but you can already see I just shaved them down. So that's the only difference. The inside is the same, the little fins are just different. So if you shave them down, this is our old harness, of course. Listen for the click. Boom. Old harness, new backup sensors. So now we should just be able to transfer everything over. The tag lights look like they are the same. They just twist off. The plastic pieces look identical. So hopefully those will just twist into place. Then next would be this guy, which is still connected to the truck. I don't know if that's the same or not, but I know the connector, like the mount for it, is different. We'll just have to see. I ain't worried about that at all because honestly, we're not putting hitch back on because of the daggone exhaust system that's going on this beast. Can't wait for that. But also the only other difference, like main difference that it could be an issue, old bumper has the metal support running all the way across, whereas the new one utilized the hitch as a support, but it's all metal. It's got the big heavy duty brackets and everything. So I don't think it's going to be one of those cases where you step on the bumper step and it like sags down or bends or flops, or I don't think that's going to be the case. Obviously we're just gonna have to see. So once we swap the harnesses over, we're going to be good to test fit this thing where hopefully our mounts are the same and she just slides into place and bolt her down and be done. It's probably not going to be that simple. It's never that simple, but hopefully we can find a workaround if not. So I went ahead and slid the bumper on, and it appears that the brackets that mount to the frame are going to line up. So it slid into place. It looks like the holes should line up once it's actually pushed up far enough, but it's obviously not right now, and that is because the bracket that comes out to support the steps is hitting the bed. So we're going to have to trim this guy down. And as you see, there's not a ton of room before you actually get to the step part where it goes like in, of course. So I guess right here where this lip is, I'm gonna go down and then cut it all the way up to the step and to right here. That way we can at least probably, you know, get another ½ inch to a full inch depending on how it lines up. So that's what we gotta do. Gotta trim that bracket. Just got done cutting this side down on the bumper. So if we look over here, we've still got this big flat piece right here, and that's what was hitting the bed. Versus over here, I cut a pretty big chunk out, so it's pretty ugly right now. I got to clean it up and put some paint on it so that it doesn't rust, but I basically just took the step out, which is super easy. Take this guy out. It's got a tab right there, 2 screws on top, 2 on the bottom, and then it'll come out the side. Get that out of the way so that you can cut this without messing that up. And then I just took the old Sawzall and blade to it and cut her out. So it shouldn't affect the structural integrity of it. It should still be able to be stepped on and not have any issues because there's still a ton of metal down here. The bolts weren't affected. And this should give us plenty of clearance. We'll have to see how much, if any, the step actually comes out over this, because that's what's going to end up being the next thing to contact the truck. But cutting it down like this should give us the clearance to put it up there nice and snug and look a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead, get this side cut down, and then I need to transfer over the harness. I'm going to show you how I cut these things down. I just use some snippers to kind of break it free. Just kind of chew it up a little bit, and then basically just whittle it down with this razor blade. Doing my best not to end up at the hospital. Or break the sensor. Either one would be bad. One of them can heal, one of them cannot, so we're gonna really try to not break the sensor. Boom, just like that. Got it all nice and flat. And now this will plug into our old wiring harness. More good news, thankfully, I was able to transfer over the old harness onto the new bumper. So everything has the correct length. Our tag lights just clipped into place, just like the old ones. All of our sensors, I shaved them down, plugged them up, popped them in there. The only thing that I had to change was it had a couple of the like zip tie Christmas trees on here, and they were not in the correct location for the holes on this one, so I just cut those off, and then I put zip ties on here. So she's in there. Now we just got to put it on the truck and hope to goodness that our brackets do line up, because if I got to take all these back apart and figure out that, well, the old bracket can't fit on this because it doesn't have the step support, so these have got to fit. Please fit. All right, let's go ahead and remove our spare tire lift. This guy just has a little clip. You can just pop it out with a flat head. And then it's gonna be a 15 mil. Once she's free, just gonna rotate it, slide it right out. Let's go ahead and try to slip this guy into place where it's hopefully just gonna line up perfectly. Please and thank you. Much appreciated. Okay, well, we have a ton more clearance. Oh, that's looking good. That's looking freaking good, boys. Holy crap. Pretty much lined up with the tailgate flush. I'm pretty happy with that. So now, the real moment of truth. We got to see if our brackets line up. We need to get this camera back above. Make sure our wires are in place as well. And like I said, start trying to line this thing up. Oh baby, she's there. We're gonna be good. I better not jinx it. Let's put some bolts on. I'm not gonna like totally spoil it because you know we got to run some B-roll. So a little bit of a gap here, but I think it's gonna look good. So anyways, I'm gonna play around with like getting fitment as dialed as possible, get our tag and everything back on, get everything nice and snug, and I guess I'll let y'all know then whether or not the plugs and everything work. The two should, but we'll have to see about our trailer one. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna run some B-roll and I'll catch up with y'all then. I didn't want us to have an issue and just not tell y'all about it, so I'm being very transparent. We do have a service reverse something another light, which I'll show you in just a second. I'm not sure if that is due to the swap over that we did, or if I just had a reverse sensor already out, and now for whatever reason it's decided to start triggering it. So all the times I've driven this truck, it's only dinged at me one time saying, hey, you're about to back into something. And obviously it should have done that a million more times, backing into the shop, the garage, parking lots, and like I said, it's only done it once. So that was weird, but it's never thrown up a light, which now I will show you that it does. So yes, I know the hood's open. So if we put it in reverse, driver door open, I know, service park assist, that will pop up, and obviously you can clear it, or you can just, you know, click the parking thing and turn it off, and then it's gone and they're not going to function. If we click it back on, it doesn't immediately pop back up. Let's see, it doesn't just pop back up. So yeah, I'm not totally sure if swapping the sensors onto the old harness in fact did not work, or if I just already had a sensor out and now after disengaging everything or taking it apart, putting it back together, it's now triggering that. So yeah, could possibly have not worked, possibly not. I don't know. I'm Googling, I'm trying to figure out a solution. But as of right now, I don't have one. Tomorrow, moving with the motion. Alright guys, well, it's absolutely freezing and the wind is blowing like crazy, so I'm sure the audio is going to be all sorts of jacked up, but we're out here hitting a little baseball, so figured we'd end it off here, and I am absolutely tickled with the outcome. I think it looks super, super good. I'm going to fine tune the adjustment just a smidge more, but man, it looks just right at home on that thing. It looks super, super good to me. I love this bumper on my 2018, and now I love it on my 2007. It's thick, it's beefy, it's different, but it looks OEM as well. So I'm very happy with it. I think it's right at home. And so for anyone that's wondering why in the world did we not put the hitch back on, well, that's because we're doing the exhaust out the daggum back of this thing. I think it's going to look absolutely sick. But if you're wanting to put the hitch on, I'm not sure if that would fit. It might hang down too low. It might be too high. I'm not sure because I didn't test fit it, and I can't tell you. But everything plugged in, and as far as I can tell, everything is working like it should. So I'm stoked, dude. I am stoked. There she is. So 2014 to 18 bumper installed on a 07 to 13. Bolted right up, swapped our sensors over. Everything should be good. So anyways, hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully you learned something from the video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll get back with you. With that said, I'll see y'all boys in the next one.